After being tormented by school bullies, one of them asked if I'd be his girlfriend. Absolutely not. Reborn into the body of a wealthy heiress, I now have Chi Cheng groveling at my feet. His shameless, two-faced act is utterly disgusting. I remember that girl, lying disheveled on the school grounds, her face covered in blood and mud, her uniform torn to shreds. She died in the most brilliant season of high summer. I gently placed my foot on Chi Cheng's shoulder, a sweet smile on my face. Sure, I want everyone who ever bullied Sushi to get what they deserve. I also need to find my past self, the one before rebirth, and spoil her, love her, protect her with everything I have. Find those who were unkind to me in my past life, one by one, and make them face their comeuppance. None of those who bullied me will get away with it. Dad is in a terrible mood. His precious daughter insists on transferring to a boarding school. Baby ... he says, pulling a long face. Why must you board? Isn't it good enough for old Wang to drive you daily? Can you bear being away from your dad for so long? I could just say one word to the board, and they'd have to let you be a day student. I raise an eyebrow. Who was it that just happened to save that elegant lady, and felt compelled to bring her into our home to express gratitude, practically pushing her son in front of me like some sales pitch? Now I'm going to her son's school. Isn't that perfect? I was wrong, daughter. Dad glares, feigning anger. Daring to set their sights on my daughter? I'll make sure they regret it. Setting their sights on me is just as bad. Double quotes, ... enough. Dad, I want a change of scenery. I've never experienced the campus youth atmosphere. My life would miss an important chapter without it. Of course, it's important. That so-called campus youth atmosphere, with all its hidden filth, violence, humiliation. Everything that once happened in that life. It cuts to the bone, never to be forgotten. Yes, after living 16 years of spoiled heiress luxury, just a few days before summer break, when the woman my dad saved brought her son Chi Cheng to thank us, the memories of my past life suddenly came flooding back. Only then did I realize I've been reborn. Before rebirth, I was Sushi, an ordinary student brutally bullied by Chi Cheng and his gang. My parents died in a car accident when I was young, and my elderly grandmother raised me with great difficulty. Chi Cheng's mother, Madame Z, was no stranger either. It was she who swaggered into the school office, slapped me, and then demanded my grandmother kneel and apologize. Look at my relationship with the principal, and look at your status. You dare come here demanding my son apologize to your granddaughter? Who do you think you are? Kneel and apologize, or I'll make sure she gets a demerit and gets expelled. No school will accept a student expelled from first high. Please ... My grandmother's graying hair was messed up by the woman's perfectly manicured, red-nailed fingers. Her frail, stooped figure trembled as her knees began to bend. Tears welled in my eyes. Little Sushi was powerless, helpless. To her death, she never understood what she did wrong. She was just an ordinary girl who worked hard to earn a scholarship. A teacher's casual praise inadvertently offended the school heartthrob's girlfriend, so their followers began their malicious torment. Why did everyone, even those she'd never offended, throw dead rats and cockroaches into her desk, tear up her textbooks, drag her to the alley outside school and force her to eat sand? Why did the teacher tell her to get along with everyone? Yet when the classmates played their cruel tricks, just say, "It takes two to tango. A fly only lands on a cracked egg." Why, when my grandmother rushed into the office, frantically showing her injuries and threatening to call the police, did everyone just look on coldly, only to receive a loud slap and watch my grandmother being forced to her knees? Little Sushi didn't understand. Then my elderly grandmother passed away, leaving her an orphan. With tears streaming, my grandmother's last words were, "Shire did nothing wrong. Shire is the best. Grandma shouldn't have agreed to let you go there ... Sushi, who did nothing wrong, died that summer. She didn't know why her voice couldn't be heard by the world. The world was too cold. After Grandma left, she had nothing. She jumped from the highest floor of the school building, like a bird with broken wings, crashing heavily to the ground. Blood flowed from her body, but the world was no longer in her eyes. The dean of students forces a smile, rubbing his hands together incessantly, spittle flying as he introduces the school environment to me. Classmate Chong Zhao, The teaching quality at First High is truly excellent. Our faculty is outstanding. And the teachers are very attentive to the students. If your father could. I walk upwind of him to avoid his bad breath. We have single dormitories, specifically for our top prefects to live in. The conditions there are excellent for you. No need. I smile, interrupting him. I'll stay in room 1209. Oh. But 1209 is a standard 4-person room. It might be noisy for you. It's fine. I heard there's an empty spot. I'll take it. After all, I lived in 1209 for 2 years. My homeroom teacher for Class 1, Grade 11, Teacher Yang, introduced me. Her eyes subtly scanned the logos on my clothes, shoes, and bag, her smile becoming a few degrees more genuine. My name is Su Chongzhao. I stand at the podium, looking down at the entire class, scanning those malicious faces from my past life memories. How convenient. They're all here. Whispers start. I heard this Su is truly the daughter of the richest Su family, and her maternal family's background is supposedly very powerful too. She's so pretty. Look at the logo on her clothes. Oh my god, isn't she a real-life princess? Exactly. It's a different Su from that other Su. This one's a real phoenix. Welcome, classmate Su. Please have a seat. My gaze falls on a corner of the classroom, where a dark, hunched figure sits. I'll sit there. The murmuring stops. That seat. The teacher looks troubled, as if wanting to persuade me otherwise. Classmate Su, I suggest you don't sit there. That's where the smelliest person in class sits. It'll pollute your nose and eyes. A girl with a high ponytail speaks, a mocking smile on her lips. Her name is Su Yu, the niece of the dean who just escorted me here. The class erupts in laughter. Yeah, classmate Su. That's where the fake bird trying to share your prestigious Su surname sits. Classmate Su, she steal your designer bags. She even eats shit. The classroom becomes rowdy. I stare at Su Yu until she becomes uncomfortable and stops her antics. I turn to the homeroom teacher. Can I, Teacher Yang? You may. I sit down in the last seat of the classroom. Honestly, the smell really is terrible. But oh, how familiar it is. All this fine living, this being chased after, feels like a dream. Only this corner feels real. I turn to look at her. The girl is staring blankly at me. When she sees me turn, she quickly looks away, curling herself into a tiny ball. What are you afraid of? I ask her. A rustling sound. She lowers her head, twisting her workbook in her hands. I smell a bit. No one sits here because of me. Her voice is soft, timid, fearful, like a small wounded animal whimpering softly in its corner. Don't be afraid. I look towards the blackboard. A few people sneak glances back at me, quickly turning away when our eyes meet. Don't be afraid. I whisper, my eyes already red. I'm sorry I'm late. But it's not too late, is it? My little Sushi. As soon as class ended, Sushi hastily packed her bag and disappeared. I knew she was afraid that if someone picked a fight with her, she wouldn't be able to study properly. I went to the small equipment storage shed by the sports field and peered through the window. She was there, using a small flashlight to read intently in the dim light. Then she pulled out a rice ball that had been cold for who knows how long and chewed on it bite by bite. I understood. She was hungry, but she couldn't go to the cafeteria during peak hours. If she ran into Chen Rura and her gang, they'd drag her to a corner and pour food and soup all over her head. She'd not only waste her money but also go hungry. Her only option was to wait until off-peak hours, when only scraps remained in the cafeteria, and sneak in for a meal. I didn't disturb her. I turned and left. This was her secret base, the only place in school where she felt safe. I didn't want to intrude. Back in room 1209, the butler had already cleaned the dorm thoroughly. Curtains were hung around my bed, with soft bedding inside, along with a projector and aromatherapy. The desk below was filled with cosmetics and a computer. Compared to the big villa at home, this bunk space was incredibly cramped. But I looked toward the corner spot, the lonely blanket and mattress, stained with unsightly colors that wouldn't wash clean. If it weren't for... Someone opened the door, gasped softly in surprise upon seeing me. If it weren't for Chenruru's followers also living here, unable to tolerate the too smelly environment, they would have dumped all their trash on Sushi's bed. And after being bullied in other corners of the school, if Sushi didn't thoroughly clean herself, she couldn't enter the dorm. She'd been locked out of the dorm many times already. I didn't expect you to be in our dorm, Suyu said cheerfully, coming over to ingratiate herself with me. I thought you'd be in the prefect's dorm. Of course not. How could I see you people bullying others from a single room? Dad said I should experience the wonderful campus life. He said the students here are very friendly, and I should get along well with everyone. I looked at Suyu and smiled. He wants me to make some good friends with good character and quality, so I'll have companions when we study abroad later. Oh wow, Uncle Su sounds like fun. I could never study abroad though. Suyu showed a trace of envy, then sighed softly. I looked at her with slight curiosity. Tuition, room and board, living expenses since they'd be my good friends accompanying me abroad. My family would naturally cover it. Besides, Dad said if everyone does well in the future, they could even work at Su Corporation. Watching her expression shift from shock to greed, then to ecstatic delight, I suddenly remembered something and said lightly, "It's just that Dad only gave me 2 spots." Then I smiled and got into bed. How do you catch some foolish fish without dropping a tempting enough bait? Chi Cheng, Madam Z, Chenruru's faces floated before me. I suppressed the hatred in my heart and thought again of that dirty little face. Those clear, slightly frightened eyes. Little Sushi, don't be afraid. I'm here. Another girl in the dorm was named Zi Sheng. Like Su Yu, she was one of Chenruru's followers, one of those who bullied me in the past. We exchanged a lukewarm greeting. Lights out at 10. I heard her whispering with Su Yu. Why is this rich girl staying with us? Seems a bit arrogant. Not at all, don't say that, Su Yu said impatiently. That's just how she is. And don't bully that country bumpkin anymore. I heard Su Chongzhao's dad is recently inspecting our school. Oh, really? I turned over. The whispering stopped. When interests are at stake, those so-called unbreakable friendships are naturally prone to betrayal. If you want benefits, naturally you have to cling to my coattails. Around midnight, the dorm door opened softly. A dark figure slipped into the room, paused slightly as she passed my bed, then quickly scurried onto her own. Zi Sheng muttered something impatiently. Then the bed fell silent. I closed my eyes and slept too. I stood at the back of the classroom, frowning slightly. What's wrong, Chongzhao? Su Yu came over affectionately and linked arms with me. I extricated myself imperceptibly. Sushi's seat is too smelly. It's affecting my studying. Su Yu raised her eyebrows. I told you not to sit there. With that stinky ... She trailed off under my gaze, then turned awkwardly to look for someone, but didn't see anyone. I frowned at her. She glanced at me nervously, then jumped up. I'll clean it up. You go sit somewhere else, young lady. Classmates gradually filtered in, and watched as the proud entertainment officer stood at the back row, pinching her nose while using a broom to clean up the trash they dumped as a prank today. Suppressing her urge to vomit, she used her rhinestone-studded handkerchief to wipe clean the desk stained with leftover food. When she pulled a large cockroach from the drawer, she finally couldn't take it anymore, screamed, and ran out of the classroom to throw up. The class erupted in chatter. I looked past the doorway at that incredulous, shocked little face and raised an eyebrow at little Sushi. She quickly wiped the slight smile from her face, tightened her small expression, and walked to her seat with her head down. To please me, Su Yu had even sprayed Burberry perfume on her desk. Little Sushi sniffed gently, then placed her books on the desk, clean for once. She didn't have that unpleasant smell anymore. She bathed every day. She wasn't the country bumpkin, or trash girl who never bathes, that classmates called her. All the odors clinging to her came from the pranks and vandalism of people after class. My nails dug into my palms. I turned back to my books. Outside the door, Su Yu was cursing angrily. Unable to take it out on me, she was instead harassing the classmates who'd pulled the prank. One by one. Slowly. I'm in no hurry. After class, Su Yu came to take me to the cafeteria. When she saw Sushi, her eyebrows practically flew up to her hairline. I took her hand, a genuine smile curling at the corners of my mouth. Su Yu, it's actually become fragrant here. I love your perfume. I've realized that since coming to this class, you're the friendliest person I've met. We're definitely going to be good friends. Su Yu quickly adjusted her expression toward me, a hint of pride in her demeanor. Of course, I'll be your best friend. The school cafeteria was quite large with plenty of food options, but sushi never got enough to eat. I looked past Su Yu, who was bustling about with trays, to the table 2 rows behind her. A girl in school uniform with chestnut-dyed long hair sat there. Beside her, Chi Cheng, head down playing on his phone. He was tall, with a fashionable hairstyle, quite handsome. Many people stole glances at him. A handsome guy and pretty girl together, naturally enviable. I caught the flicker of jealousy in Su Yu's eyes. So that's how it was. I smiled slightly. For the first time since my rebirth, I saw Chen Ruru, Chi Cheng's pretty little girlfriend. Because of her, my past self had fallen into endless hell. Who's that? I asked. Su Yu looked at me, then at Chen Ruru and Chi Cheng, somewhat conflicted. She used to be Chen Ruru's follower, but she wasn't willing to give up the chance to be my good friend. She smiled and said, "That's my good friend Ruru over there, and her boyfriend Chi Cheng. They're both school celebrities. Want to meet them, Chongjiao?" Her expression was quite relaxed, because Chen Ruru was also a rich girl. She wouldn't covet the benefits I offered. No conflict of interest. Naturally, they could be friends. Sure, Su Yu's friends should be as kind and easy to get along with as Su Yu, right? I wore a harmless smile, determined to play the part of the innocent, naive rich girl. Su Yu naturally didn't know that Chen Ruru's rich girl persona was all fake. I hadn't known either in my past life. Why did Chen Ruru hate me so much? Because of a teacher's casual praise. She led everyone to bully me. My reborn life had broadened my horizons. Only now could I understand the phone call I'd overheard Chen Ruru making outside the classroom that day. But little Sushi back then hadn't understood. Besides the teacher's casual praise, what Chen Ruru hated most was that she thought Sushi had overheard that phone call while standing outside the door. Had overheard the truth about Chen Ruru faking her rich girl identity. Could infer how she'd charmed the wealthy young master, Chi Cheng, and how she ruled the school, making Su Yu, Zi Sheng, and others follow her lead. Little Sushi had heard it, but she hadn't understood. Chen Ruru, however, thought she knew. So she panicked and decided to crush little Sushi. Compared to an outstanding student, teachers and classmates wouldn't listen to a troublesome, dirty, smelly, marginalized student. She had to destroy her. Rich girl, Chongjiao? Chi Cheng looked at me, putting down his phone. An uncomfortable smile crept onto his face. Our proud, arrogant young master Chi Cheng. Did you know your mother was trying to sell you to me like merchandise? Or didn't you? Does your pride allow that? Hi there, Chi Cheng. I smiled in greeting. Su Chongjiao? Chen Ruru watched me approach, slightly wary. She first shot an impatient glare at Su Yu behind me, disdainful of her quick defection. Then she turned to size me up, probably assessing my threat to her love life. You two know each other. Chi Cheng's mother, Madame Z, is a friend of my father's. I smiled and nodded. Seeing my open smile, she loosened her grip on Chi Cheng's arm slightly, putting on a social smile. I'm Chen Ruru. Class 2, grade 11. Nice to meet you. I smiled and sat down across from them with Su Yu. She was quite pretty. You're very beautiful. I hope we can be good friends. I didn't focus on Chi Cheng at all, just looked at her. Again with the spiel about studying abroad and good friends. Chen Ruru blinked, her smile growing warmer. I glanced at Su Yu. She didn't seem to mind, probably thinking they were the same social class. Chen Ruru didn't need those benefits, so she wasn't a threat. She ate with her head down, but her eyes kept darting toward Chi Cheng across the table. Su Yu, if you knew that the person beside you wasn't some rich girl at all, her family background was just like yours. If you knew she'd stolen the person you liked by relying on a fake persona, and treated you like a lackey. If you knew you'd always be second best, never allowed to outshine her. Always the one taking the blame when things went wrong behind the scenes. If someone were to expose all the truth to you right now, what would you do, Su Yu? The curve of my mouth grew more pronounced, innocent and harmless. What a wonderful campus life indeed. Sushi came back early tonight. After Su Yu had secretly taught the class a lesson, no one pulled any pranks today. So naturally, she didn't need to wash off the foul smells in the bathroom before returning. Because of me, Su Yu had been playing the part of a kind-hearted good friend all day for now. She still didn't want to reveal her true face in front of me. From my bed, I saw that little head peeking timidly through the doorway. Su Yu and Chi Cheng's conversation paused briefly, then continued as if nothing had happened. Sushi slipped quietly back to her own bed. I looked at her and smiled gently. She wasn't being lazy, avoiding studying. She was testing the waters, testing whether, for some reason, Su Yu and Chi Cheng were being restrained. Of course, that reason most likely revolved around me. She was looking for a signal. Such a clever little girl. Quiet but alert, with that innate intuition of a small animal. If not for her grandmother's passing, she would have endured even more silently, studied hard, and repaid her grandmother's kindness. My gaze softened. Once this wary little animal accepted me into her territory and became my friend, I would accompany her to see her grandmother. This time, neither of them would come to harm. Su Yu started sticking to me like glue, even wanting to go to the bathroom together. Apparently that's how friendships between girls on campus developed. She told me all sorts of gossip about people. Don't be fooled by how prim and proper the class monitor acts. She's secretly hooking up with the pay rep from the class next door. That teacher is having an affair with that girl's dad. That girl and Ruru are both on our school's beauty ranking list. Double quotes. Beauty ranking list? I interrupted. Yeah, it ranks the prettiest girls in school. Chongjiao, you arrived too late. Otherwise you'd definitely be on it this semester. So where does Su Yu rank? I asked, looking at her earnestly. You're so kind, I think you're just as pretty as Ruru. Her eyes flickered as she forced a smile. No way. How could I compare to the school heartthrob's girlfriend? Hey, but last time we ate together, someone took photos and said you're really pretty, more like Chi Cheng's girlfriend. I looked puzzled, pulling out my phone to show her a post. Look at this. The photo was a bit blurry, taken in the cafeteria, that time she'd introduced me to Chi Cheng and Chen Ruru. It was a candid shot from an odd angle, capturing only Su Yu and Chi Cheng sitting across from her. Chi Cheng seemed to be looking at Su Yu, his expression handsome and carefree. The two appeared quite well matched. Post title: Is this our school heartthrob and his girlfriend? Perfect match. Comments below. 3L. Oh my god, that must be Chen Ruru, right? They look so good together. 4L. This girl is genuinely pretty. If she's not on the beauty list, it's rigged. 5L. No way, that's not Chen Ruru. That's her bestie Su Yu. Why are they eating together? 6L. Oh god, are they on a date? 7L. Somehow Su Yu seems prettier than Chen Ruru. 25L. Have some decency, peeping Tom. Chi Cheng was sitting next to Chen Ruru. There were 4 people eating together. What's your agenda cropping the photo like that? Su Yu scrolled through the post again and again. Then she handed my phone back. Her smile now tinged with excitement. Everyone's just joking around. You were there too that day, right? It's just an awkward angle. Oh, I see. But somehow you and Chi Cheng look really good together in this photo. I pocketed my phone and turned away. Beside me, her breathing was heavy, slightly trembling. She must be so excited, barely able to contain herself. Just a cropped photo taken at an odd angle while getting utensils, trimmed a bit, with some added atmosphere, and it gets you this thrilled. Those desires buried deep in the soil of the heart, once validated by the outside world, injected with the fertilizer of delusion, watered by the gossip of strangers, they'll surely grow into an extraordinary tree, won't they? After school, I declined Su Yu's request to return to the dorm together. I planned to check out the swimming pool. Chi Cheng loved swimming. I needed a chance encounter. But in the women's changing room, I heard faint cursing. I silently rounded the corner and stopped breathing at what I saw. 4 pretty girls in swimsuits were viciously kicking and stomping something curled up against the wall. One girl, squatting down, grabbed the person's hair and yanked their head back viciously. The drooping head was pulled up by force, the thin neck like a string about to snap. What are you doing here? Trying to seduce boys? Chen Ruru yanked Sushi's hair with hatred, the malice in her eyes practically overflowing. Been a while since we last taught you a lesson. And now you have the nerve to come to the pool. I just wanted to finish the teacher's assignment. She says she's here for work-study cleaning. Who believes that? Shameless, the other girls chimed in. Some started pulling at her clothes. Others pulled out phones to take photos. Tell me. Chen Ruru pushed everyone aside, gritting her teeth as she glared. With all those people around, why did you go near Chi Cheng? Are you trying to Are you trying to expose my secret? Fire burned in my chest. My muscles tensed so hard I could barely breathe. A searing pain shot through every part of my body. I had to restrain myself forcefully from rushing out and beating them all senseless. I pulled out my phone and tapped the screen. Ruru. I walked out. Seeing it was me, she released her grip on Sushi's hair. CHONGZHAO ... What are you doing? I looked at her disapprovingly, patting her hand. Picking on a work-study student here. What if a teacher finds out and deducts points from your conduct grade? Didn't we agree to study abroad together? Her expression shifted awkwardly, a bit stiff. This girl was trying to seduce Chi Cheng ... I looked momentarily dazed, glancing instinctively at my phone. She's trying to seduce Chi Cheng too? What do you mean too? She caught my glance at my phone, her expression changing as she snatched it away. I looked flustered. It's just people talking nonsense in the posts, don't believe it. She looked at my phone, her face darkening. On the screen was the same post I'd just shown Su Yu, that photo of Su Yu and Chi Cheng together, looking like an immortal couple, perfectly matched. You and I were there that day too. Whoever took this photo has malicious intent. Don't blame Su Yu. I gently tugged at her. Honestly, you and Chi Cheng are such a perfect match. A little cleaner like Sushi could never threaten you. Don't focus on the wrong thing. Your focus should be on Su Yu, Chen Ruru. Of course, Su Yu is innocent. But those whispers from others will always stick in your throat. You care so much about Face, you must be terrified of losing it, right? For now, let the dogs fight among themselves. They stormed off angrily, probably to confront Su Yu. Only little Sushi remained, curled up in the corner. I crouched down to look at her. Are you okay? Little Sushi stirred slightly, lifted her head, and looked at me. Then, flustered, she lowered her head again. When you can't fight back, protect your vital areas. I gently smoothed her disheveled hair. You did well. You tried so hard, little Sushi. Why did you come to the pool? I asked. In my past life, I never experienced this pool incident, so something must have changed. Thank you, she whispered, for helping me at school. I can sleep well now, and finish my tasks. Then I can get the scholarship. So it was because of me. She'd been beaten less, rested properly, and finally wanted to complete the last requirement of moral, intellectual, physical, aesthetic, and labor education. And then she ran into Chen Ruru again. This world is too dog-eat-dog. You're still too young to face it now. So just hide well, I told her, suddenly feeling a bit cruel. School is supposed to provide a safe environment for students to study. Why should anyone need to hide? Are those school bullies even human? Just because they're children, they think they can torment another child like this. Did I do something wrong? She lifted her head, mustering courage to ask me. You didn't do anything wrong. I looked at her calmly, as if answering for that bird that fell from the tall building in my past life. That innocent child's question to the world. You're the best child. Just do what you want to do. I tousled her hair. We're still gathering evidence. They'll pay. Can I only hide? She asked. For now, we need to play a game of who's the undercover. I'd prefer to remove the firewood from under the pot. Simply venting anger won't stop this situation. So until then, bear with it. I looked at her bright, confused eyes. But you're the same age as me, she said. The world is very unfair. It just so happens I'm a pretty capable person, I said. If they bully you, just hide behind me. I'll protect you. Like an angel. A glimmer of hope crossed her face. Like an angel, I said. Back at the dorm, Zi Sheng was nowhere to be seen. Su Yu sat on her stool, hair messy like a chicken nest, eyes red-rimmed. "What's wrong, Yu?" I walked over. Concerned. CHONGZHA. Dr. Yu couldn't help but throw herself at me, crying. "Ruru saw that post and says I'm after Chi Cheng. No matter how I explain, she won't listen. And I'm supposed to be her best friend. How can Ruru be like this?" I patted her back, expressionless but voice filled with concern. "We all know it was just an awkward angle. How can she treat a friend like this?" "Exactly. I explained so many times, but she wouldn't listen, and she even slapped me." Yu sobbed, a trace of hatred flickering in her eyes that she probably didn't notice herself. I smiled gently and said, "Friends shouldn't be like this." She even called me her friend and wanted to study abroad with me. Yu paused. Her family's rich too. She can study abroad on her own. Come to think of it, it's strange. I've never heard of a Chen family daughter in our social circle. My gaze drifted to that little head peeking through the doorway, quickly retracting, and I smiled silently. But maybe I'm just ignorant. After all, she's Chi Cheng's girlfriend. How could she be a fraud? Our Yu is so pretty, who could bear to bully you? Look at Chi Cheng's gaze in that photo, so deep and affectionate, just like a drama. Yu finally stopped crying. She seemed lost in thought. I patted her head, then climbed back into my bed. I took out the Polaroid photo from my bag. It was the one I'd just taken of little Sushi, cornering her and making her smile for it. She rarely took photos, no money, no opportunity. Her smile was a bit timid. My past self looked somewhat malnourished at this time, but because Grandma took good care, her face still had collagen and soft flesh. I'd pushed her bangs aside, revealing clean, youthful features. Long lashes, eyes not yet nearsighted, so still dark and bright. Her face was a bit dirty, but when she smiled, tiny dimples appeared. So cute. My heart softened into a puddle. This was the girl I wanted to protect. She was my past self, yet not the current me. I chuckled softly. Next up. Chi Cheng. "Dad, please invite Madam Z and her son to dinner this weekend." I was walking on the track with headphones on, wind whistling in my ears. "Baby, don't you hate that family? Why dine with them?" Dad sounded puzzled. "With scheming people, it's not scary if they never get what they want. What's scary is getting it and then losing it." I smiled softly. "Strike the snake at its vital spot. That's the life lesson you taught me, Dad." "My daughter's so smart," Dad praised blindly. "What do you need this spy to do?" I broke out in a sweat. "That's not necessary. Just create opportunities between me and her son. As for Madam Z, just be superficially polite. Don't you dare turn this into something real." The first warned preemptively. "Impossible. No woman can compare to your mother," Dad said disdainfully. That I could trust. Since Mom passed, countless women had thrown themselves at him, but he never wavered, though I wouldn't oppose him finding love again. Chi Cheng's flirtatious mother was absolutely out of the question. And I've already had people investigate her. It's all dirt. You can look through it carefully when you get home. Dad never shied away from such things. He always wanted me to join the company, so he naturally never treated me like a child. Got it. She won't get away. Who would have thought the gentle, kind, new rich girl could be like this behind everyone's backs? As I hung up and prepared to turn back to the dorm, I froze, then looked up to see someone sitting on the parallel bars. Who would have thought the school-famous top student was a sneaky eavesdropper? I retorted. Seriously, Miss Sue. Lin Mabai jumped down, exasperated. I was here first, okay? Where's your sense of fairness? Lin Mabai, though he appeared and disappeared mysteriously around school, legends about him always circulated. They said he was handsome, equally famous as Chi Cheng, but a year ahead, having been early admitted to P University in his second year of high school. Early admits roamed the school, with a dedicated classroom so as not to shake student morale, so he was slightly less famous. Few had actually seen him, and wouldn't recognize him if they did. I glanced at him. Short hair, bright eyes, no worries about senior year studies. Appearing more mature than his peers. Quite handsome, like an energetic young wolf, that clean, non-obnoxious kind of youthful handsomeness. Though I'd only been here a week, I recognized him. In my past life, I'd always looked up to Lin Mabai, wanting to study hard, join competitions, get into P University or T University early, to ease grandma's burden. Past events were like smoke. I ignored him and turned to leave. Su Chongzhao, aren't you afraid I'll reveal your true face to everyone? He called from behind. Suit yourself. I waved dismissively. You transferred here for a reason, didn't you? He persisted, like making some people suffer. I pretended not to hear. Like protecting that girl who's always bullied. Let me think. What's her name? Su Si. If something happens to her ... I pivoted, turned, and executed a spinning kick. Lin Mabai watched wide-eyed as my leg came straight down toward his face. He shut his eyes. A breeze brushed his ear as I adjusted my angle, hitting the tree beside his head. A few leaves drifted down. Don't mess with her. I moved close to his face. He was a bit tall, which annoyed me, so I grabbed his collar and pulled his head down. You bystanders who watch bullying happen, you're just as guilty, enabling the evil. Hey, wait sis. Lin Mabai opened his eyes, raising his hands in surrender, staring straight at me. I don't know her. But at the pool last time, I heard commotion, and was about to step in when I saw you handle those girls. That's when I noticed you and did some digging. I was about to charge into the women's changing room, almost got labeled a pervert by security. I hate bullying and never stand idly by. I studied him appraisingly, sensing he wasn't lying. Smiling, I withdrew my leg and casually straightened his crumpled collar. Sorry, my mistake, senior. Lin Mabai shuddered at my rapid change in demeanor. Sis, you're my big sister now. Don't call me senior, I can't handle it. Bored now that you've been early admitted to P University? I crossed my arms, looking at him. I heard you know Chi Cheng. Some mutual friends, but not close. What are you up to? He grew wary. I could practically see his ears perk up. Taking you to have some fun. I smiled gently, gesturing for him to come closer. Tell him how infatuated you are with my looks. How much you admire my character. How crazily obsessed you are with me. How desperately you want to be my simp. Lin Mabai. Male competition. Don't you understand? I smoothed my skirt and looked up at him. Young males always get their blood pumping from competition. Rarity increases value. This is the foreplay of self-promotion. Trust me, it'll be a spectacular show. I'm inviting you to watch No Thanks Needed. I flipped through the calendar. Next month was the Mid-Autumn Festival Party, where Chen Ruru would speak on stage as the student representative. Time to light a fire and let Su Yu make her move. I rested my chin on my hand, watching Sushi beside me taking notes. Her back was straight as a rod. Perhaps intimidated by being my deskmate, far fewer people bullied her now. In places I couldn't watch over, she'd grown much cleverer. She slipped away fast. I looked at her face. The milk I brought every day under the pretext of my annoying dad forces me to drink this nasty stuff, and if you don't help me finish it, I'll have to throw it away. Little Sushi was thus compelled to drink a bottle daily. Her face had filled out a bit. She looked like a little rabbit. My phone buzzed with new messages. One was from Lin Mabai. OJBK. 2 were from Chi Cheng. Susu, your uncle invited Mom and me to dinner at your place this weekend. Are you okay with that? I typed back. Of course, you're my good friend after all. Chi Cheng replied quickly. I heard from Lin Mabai that he's pursuing you. I smiled. The fish had taken the bait. Really? I'm not close with him at all. Unlike you. We're much closer. Yes, indeed. Chi Cheng. How close we are. That boy Sushi liked once her youthful fantasy. She yearned for the bright, sunny world he inhabited. His confident, exuberant way of speaking. Though she studied diligently, she'd had her share of girlish dreams. He seemed perfect, like a prince from another world. Later she learned he truly was a prince, just someone else's Prince Charming. He could watch her lying in the dirt, pathetically eating cake mixed with mud, sneer, so dirty, and walk away arm in arm with Chen Ruru. Sometimes he watched the bullying from the sidelines. Sometimes he participated, all to amuse his spoiled girlfriend. Their pleasure came from trampling her, even using their social capital to rally everyone to join in the bullying. Even when things escalated and they were brought before teachers, they weren't afraid. He had a capable mother with connections, well packaged enough to cozy up to the principal. protecting this gang of underage bullies who thought they were above the law. How close we are. Even though in this life, thanks to my arrival, you haven't committed worse crimes yet. But rotten seeds can't be taught, and I never planned to reform you. I switched to my secondary SIM and sent Suyu a few photos. My cheek felt strangely warm. I turned to find little rabbit glaring at me. All right, I'll study properly. Helpless, I turned back to my textbook. The familiar lessons held no interest. Even before recovering my memories, Su Chongjia was a brilliant student with early admission secured. Now my past self was forcing me to pay attention in class. Oh, little Sushi, I said softly. I'd like to visit your home this weekend. I hear your grandmother is wonderful. I'd love to meet her. Her eyes went round. I knew she didn't understand why I'd want to visit. I just missed Grandma. That's all. The weekend arrived quickly. Madame Z brought Chi Cheng to our house. Dad was pouring tea for our guests. Madame Z, in a gentle, demure skirt suit, sat on the sofa smiling sweetly at Dad. Beside her sat a slightly uncomfortable Chi Cheng, dressed more formally than at school. When he looked up and saw me, he breathed a small sigh of relief and smiled. Just like merchandise waiting to be appraised. No two pieces of merchandise. Waiting to see which of us father and daughter would take an interest. I walked over and greeted them. Auntie Z, Chi, Cheng. Zhao Zhao's gotten even prettier. Chi Cheng mentions you constantly. Zi Yuling exclaimed admiringly, every expression carefully calculated to look perfect from every angle. When this girl called me, she said Chi Cheng had been looking after her at school. Dad chimed in helpfully. I glanced at Chi Cheng at just the right moment. He lowered his head slightly under my smiling gaze, ears tinged pink, as if that woman who'd forced Su Si and her grandmother to kneel in the principal's office wasn't her. As if that boy who'd gleefully watched an innocent girl eat garbage with his girlfriend wasn't him. I turned to Dad. I'll show Chi Cheng around the house. You young people go have fun. Dad waved casually. We exchanged a glance. In my white dress, like a delicate lotus blossom, I led Chi Cheng through the villa. We didn't know each other last time you came. Now we're so much closer. I looked up at him with sparkling eyes. Yes. Chi Cheng seemed slightly uneasy. You're different here than at school too. After all, he genuinely liked Shenruru. I breathed softly, looking surprised with round eyes. How perceptive. You noticed. What? He seemed taken aback. At school I want to make friends, but I'm a bit socially awkward, so I have to act prim and proper. I patted my chest lightly. At home with you, I'm much more comfortable, don't have to pretend so hard. Take a step back, reveal my true, spontaneous nature. From a rich girl like me, how precious and sincere. The same tricks Zi Yuling played. Why would anyone see through them? These little maneuvers, too crude for real scheming, prove remarkably useful in delicate social games. I'm so glad we can meet privately. I expressed my delight in a slightly worshipful, gently delighted, purely innocent girlish voice. His gaze lingered on my face. Perhaps he noticed the crushed diamond eyeshadow on my lower lids, glistening like tears on my lashes. Perhaps he saw my full lips, slightly red and glossy, curved in a joyful arc, my favorite glass lip glaze. Yes, it's wonderful. His face reddened. A single stripe the boy trap makeup worked perfectly. My bedroom wasn't worth touring, but small spaces breed intimacy. Chin Mei brought coffee. Sitting on my bed, I watched him on the sofa drinking it, my eyes curving into crescents. Zhao Zhao, stop smiling, he said, already using my nickname. Why do you keep smiling? Can't help it when I see you. I paused as if realizing something, eyes dropping slightly. After all, you're my friend's boyfriend. That line was pretty passive-aggressive, I judged internally, especially with the fractured tone, the slight sadness barely concealed. He seemed about to defend himself. It's fine. We're friends, right? I perked up, about to pretend nothing happened, when my phone vibrated. A soft, "Oh." I glanced down, muttered, "Lin Mabai's so annoying," and locked it. Lin Mabai contacted you again? His eyes sharpened slightly. Yeah, he keeps bothering me. Wanting to meet up. I pretended nonchalance. He's not that great. Lin Mabai had probably told him about his plan to confess. I smiled casually. Dinner's probably ready. Let's go down. As I stood, I wobbled, my feet giving way as I stumbled forward. Chi Cheng's eyes were inches away. Both hands gripped my waist as he stared intently at me. His breathing was audible. I looked at him, my hand unconsciously reaching up to touch his eyelashes. Then, realizing what I was doing, I yanked my hand back, scrambled up flustered, hurriedly apologizing. His ears burned crimson. Awkwardly not meeting my eyes, he straightened his clothes and we went downstairs, both slightly constrained. Finally, it was ending. I watched Chi Cheng's tall back with weary eyes. Playing this role all day was exhausting. I stood beside Sushi in her cramped room, warm light glowing. Sushi watched my expression anxiously, as if afraid I'd bolt at any moment. Before me stood a kind-faced, white-haired elderly woman, smiling warmly as she welcomed me. "Hello, Grandma." I drank in the sight of her greedily. Good child, good child. This is the first time Zixie's brought a classmate home to play." Grandma's smile was so gentle. The warm, elderly woman from the depths of my memory stood vividly before me. She had never knelt in humiliation, never watched her granddaughter be tormented, never withered away on her sickbed. That gaunt figure lying in bed was now so vibrantly alive. My eyes reddened. I forced myself not to cry. "How wonderful, Grandma. You're still alive." I brought mountains of fruit and expensive health supplements, which Grandma politely refused. "First visit must bring gifts, Dad taught me that." I smiled, tugging Sushi. "Besides, Sushi looks after me at school and helps me study. So please don't refuse, Grandma." Sushi muttered helplessly under her breath, completely twisting the truth. I ignored her. Grandma had no choice but to relent. All right. Zhao Zhao, come eat." Familiar dishes from memory, Grandma's specialty. Tomato scrambled eggs, garlic ribs and Crucian tofu soup. This meal must have cost them dearly. "Good?" Grandma asked gently. "Zhao Zhao's too thin, just like Zixi." "That won't do, you're growing kids, need proper meals." "Exactly. Growing kids need lots to eat." Little Rabbit flashed a lively smile she'd never show at school, bright and vivid. The rich aroma of fish soup filled my nose and mouth. Steam rose, reddening my eyes. I watched the chattering Grandma and the quietly eating little Sushi, as if observing my own life in third person. Grandma, who raised me from childhood. Grandma, always chattering. Grandma, who'd make delicious food and mend my clothes under the lamp. Who, in her old age, still struggled to support their family. Who'd rise before dawn to make batches of dumplings and buns, pushing her breakfast cart to school to claim a good spot. Sometimes when vendors fought over spots, she'd yield, standing in a corner, kindly serving children who came for breakfast. She was very old, but her spine stayed straight, tall as an unshakable roof beam, holding up a shelter for Sushi against wind and rain. I drained the fish soup in one gulp. This life, I would absolutely not let anything happen to Sushi and Grandma. "Who are you? Why do you know so much?" I looked at the message from Su Yu on my phone, smiling silently. "Did you verify? I wasn't lying, was I?" Chen Ruri is a complete fraud. She packaged herself as a rich girl, bagged Chi Cheng, enslaved you all, forced you to bully others. Are you okay with that? No reply. But the outcome was inevitable. If I were you, I'd expose the fraud in public, in front of everyone. That's the only way she gets what she deserves. I glanced at the photos Liang Shu had sent Chen Ruru, entering an old residential building, looking annoyed, supporting a pot-bellied man up the stairs, and the video of her calling the man Dad. After confirming Su Yu had received them, I deleted everything. Switching back to my main sim, I saw Su Yu had just messaged. Su Yu CHONGZHA. O. Su Yu. What do you do when your best friend betrays you? Su. Best friends don't betray you. People who betray you were never really your friends. Su Yu. I want to expose the fraud, but I'm afraid no one will believe me. Su. If you have evidence, people will believe you. If your evidence isn't enough... Unless she's done something wrong. Unless she was a bad person. Like how Chen Ruru first proved Sushi was bad before attacking her, so that nothing she said would be believed. Su. You. Are you okay? Who hurt you? Sue. Oh, I got gifts for you and Ruru, you're both my good friends. Come pick yours up sometime. The flames were burning brighter and brighter. The Mid-Autumn Festival party was quite an elaborate affair. Students filed into the auditorium and sat by class, with the first row reserved for school administrators and city officials. Spotting Uncle Zeng, who had a good relationship with my father, seated among the officials, I smiled and went over to greet him. Uncle Zeng, it's you here this time. Ah, Zhao Zhao. Uncle Zeng smiled at me. Your dad said you're doing well here and asked me to check in. You've grown even prettier. This is Su Chongxiao, Su Ruoxia's daughter, also my niece. He introduced me to the school leaders. Uncle Zeng is joking around again. I pretended to glare at him, then turned with a smile to greet everyone. Most of the school leaders had been briefed beforehand or greeted by my father, so we exchanged pleasantries with tacit understanding. I returned to my class and sat beside Su Shi. Su Yi was nowhere to be seen. I recalled glimpsing her hurrying away earlier, clutching a USB drive. Smiling, I turned my attention to the stage performances. Meanwhile, a post quietly appeared on the school forum. Shock! The wealthy heiress Chun Ruru is actually a fake? Chun Ruru fooled us all. The post contained exactly the photos and videos I'd had on my phone. The entire post vehemently exposed Chen Ruru for packaging herself as a wealthy heiress through lies, deceiving Chi Cheng, and throwing her weight around at school. Many students were browsing during the party, and comments began to accumulate. 3L. Can't be real. 5L. Fun fact. Anyone can Photoshop. 8L. Fun fact. Videos can't be Photoshopped. 32L. Seriously? How do you fake being a rich girl? I've seen Chen Ruru use really expensive cosmetics. 34L. Come on, the Chi family has money. As Chi Cheng's girlfriend, she has everything. 36L. Chen Ruru and Chi Cheng truly love each other. Even if Ruru has no money, Chi Cheng wouldn't abandon her. 40L. Are you kidding? This isn't about love. It's about deception. Who wants to like a liar? And with such vanity. 45L. This video needs verification. Who knows if it's real? 50L. I'm in Chen Ruru's class. I can testify her speech is tacky. 55L. Sure enough, jumping on the hate train is wrong tilde. 60L. Even if Chen Ruru is poor, she's still a pretty poor person. She's my goddess. 61L. Comment above, I suggest you go see a neurologist. 65L. The real wealthy heiress is clearly that Su girl. 66L. So what if she's not really rich? Chen Ruru is outstanding, pretty, and a student representative. Money doesn't define everything. I watched the stage as they reached the student representative speech segment. Chen Ruru wore a demure schoolgirl dress. Her wavy hair draped over her shoulders. Her smile was bright as a beautiful rose, with a VCR showcasing the school playing behind her. Hello everyone, I'm student representative Chen Ruru. The topic of my speech is the beauty of human nature. Kindness. Why? Sushi whispered beside me. A trace of bewilderment. A trace of anger. She couldn't understand how such a person could speak about the beauty of human nature before everyone. Good and evil have their consequences. Evil will be repaid with evil, I said. But she still. Sushi was getting angry. You little bitch, kneel down. A shrill female voice rang out repeatedly from the VCR. The footage was shot from a first-person perspective. Average quality, slightly shaky. In the video, a brown-haired girl was smugly slapping another girl's face, then kicking her legs to force her to kneel, spewing vulgar abuse all the while. You low-born commoner ... along with the trash. How dare you show your face before me? Disgusting. Maggot. Sewer rat. And you dare try to seduce Chi Cheng. Wishful thinking. What makes you worthy of him? Go die, just go die. The gentle girl on stage, her vicious face was exposed on the VCR behind her. How ironic. A moment of silence, then a wave of murmurs crashed like a tidal wave. I watched Chun Ruru, stunned on stage, scream in fury and rush toward the backstage. The school leaders below, faces ashen, kept apologizing to Uncle Zeng. Uncle Zeng shook them off and prepared to leave. I looked at Sushi beside me. She stared at the stage, her eyes frighteningly bright. This is what you meant by evil being repaid with evil, isn't it? Her eyes sparkled like stars, with perhaps a hint of tears glistening. Yes. I looked at her and smiled gently, taking her hand. Her cold palm was sweating. The wicked will have their tormentors. It's not over yet. The forum refreshed rapidly. The earlier post instantly grew into a towering thread. 212L. Oh my god, terrifying. So this is Chen Ruru's true face. 220L. I'm shocked. This is our school's outstanding student representative. 222L. I'm the one from 60L. I realize I really do need to see a neurologist. 226L. Honestly, I'd heard she was like this before. 228L. Knew it. A fraud, vain, and looks down on others. Commoners? Who does she think she is? Dividing people by status. 229L. I knew that gang of theirs secretly ranked us all. So disgusting. 330L. Blah blah bliss is our school beauty's behavior. 335L. This girl looks so ugly in the video. Is Chi Cheng blind? Backstage was chaotic. A boiling pot of turmoil. Chen Ruru's frantically tearing into Su Yu, while other students pointed and gossiped. It was you, wasn't it? You! Chen Ruru yanked Su Yu's hair, furiously demanding. Only you could have filmed that video. You were there too. What proof do you have it was me? Su Yu, hurt by the pulling, swung her hand and slapped Chen Ruru across the face. The sharp crack echoed in the air. Chen Ruru was stunned, clutching her cheek as she said furiously, Su Yu, you dare hit me. Why wouldn't I dare? Su Yu sneered coldly. You really think you're some kind of lady, Chen Ruru? The whole forum knows about you faking being a rich girl. And you're still treating me like your sidekick. What? Chen Ruru's eyes darted about in shock. I said, you're a fraud. You deceived us all. You deceived Chi Cheng. You're disgusting. Su Yu declared loudly. So shameless. And you still have the nerve to act righteous. Watching this dog-eat-dog spectacle, I found it utterly amusing. Then came another wave of commotion. Chi Cheng had arrived. And Cheng, you believe me, right? Chen Ruru rushed over, clutching Chi Cheng's clothes, looking up at him. Her hair was a mess, her carefully applied makeup completely smudged. Chi Cheng reached out to steady her, a flicker of hesitation on his face. He had participated in bullying too, yet he'd also been a caring boyfriend. How would he choose regarding Chen Ruru? Chi Cheng, don't be fooled by her. You saw the school post. She disguised her identity to get close to you deliberately. Su Yu, seeing his wavering, shouted anxiously. You participated in the bullying too. Chen Ruru, at her limit, turned to Su Yu. Don't you dare drag me down. Su Yu laughed mockingly. You've done so many bad things and still want to pull others under. You think anyone will believe you? Her former followers quickly distanced themselves. Yeah, Ruru. Don't be like this. How could we have known? Those were all you're doing. How could things done in the shadows be brought into the light? Especially right under the city officials' noses, they wouldn't dare. Chen Ruru turned back, pleading with Chi Cheng. A Sheng. We've been together so long, ... She knew he wouldn't care about the bullying. Ruru, But I couldn't let her have her way. Ruru, this can't be real, can it? I stepped forward, frowning with concern. You're so good. I can't believe you're the kind of person who bullies others. And they're even calling you a big fraud. Let's call the police. Chen Ruru was momentarily speechless. Chi Cheng turned to look at me, flustered. I met his eyes, putting something into my gaze. Then I looked away with a touch of melancholy, creating an effect of unsaid words. Finally, Ruru, I'm so disappointed in you, Chi Cheng said. We're through. Lin Mobai. Miss Su plays her cards masterfully. A two-pronged attack, killing without drawing blood. Me. What are you talking about? Why would I need to dirty my own hands? Lin Mobai. Who's next? Me. Guess. Lin Mobai. Need me to keep playing your devoted simp to provoke him? Me. If the great scholar Lin is happy to oblige. Lin Mobai. Truly I perform deeds and vanish, concealing my merit and fame. Me. You look like you're having fun. Lin Mobai. Little old me. Just a pawn. Su Yu was humming as she tidied her clothes. Where's my bag? I put away my phone and turned to Su Yu. You, why so happy? Zhong Zhao. Let me tell you inside scoop. Chen Ruru is transferring schools. I looked at her meaningfully. Wasn't she your best friend? Oh, who's best friends with her? You're my only best friend. She linked arms with me. Her behavior bullying others and faking being a rich girl is famous all over school. With such a tainted record, she never dare show her face again. Chi. She realized she'd slipped up and glanced at me cautiously. I maintained an innocent smile, apparently oblivious. So you do know that bullying others is wrong, huh? I looked at Chi Cheng sitting at the other end, head down at her desk, silent. That post calling Su Yu, the school beauty, had resurfaced on the forum homepage. In the photo, Su Yu and Chi Cheng looked like a perfect couple. Su Yu scrolled through her phone daily, face glowing with uncontrollable joy. She'd started preparing heartfelt lunchboxes, looking like an innocent young girl. Chi Cheng had sent me several messages. Chi Cheng. Zhao, everything on the forum is fake. Chi Cheng. Zhao. Believe me. There's nothing between her and me. A smile curled at the corner of my mouth as I replied. Me. I believe you. Chi Cheng. Lin Mobai said he's asking you to go to the amusement park this weekend. Me. Yeah, he's so forward, kind of annoying. Chi Cheng. Did you agree? Me. Brother A Sheng, why so many questions? Take care of your own affairs first. Chi Cheng. I smiled to myself. This Chi Cheng, his ex-girlfriend's situation just happened. And here he is already flirting around. Old habits die hard, as they say. Perfect pairing with a perfect match. Su Yu's heartfelt lunchbox never got delivered. Another video started circulating on the forum. This time, the same bullying content. The same Chen Ruru, but from a different angle, showing Su Yu filming, and after finishing, rushing in to join the bullying alongside Chen Ruru. In the video, she spewed crude language and acted viciously. Everyone was stunned. Everyone had heard about the rift between Chen Ruru and Su Yu. Moreover, after Chen Ruru's downfall, Su Yu had made several calculatedly innocent comments on various posts to distance herself, gaining some followers. She painted herself as blameless, innocent, and kinda poor friend betrayed by Chen Ruru. Being at the center of recent gossip, with plenty of material to dig into, she was riding a wave of attention. Many wanted to get close to her. Now this video's appearance overturned the persona she'd carefully constructed. A series of twists truly the icing on the cake. Another rumor spread like wildfire. I heard Su Yu's whole class has been bullying one of their classmates. And the teacher just stood by. Many from class 1 piped up like bamboo shoots after rain. We never bullied anyone like Su Yu did. Everything was Su Yu's doing. We knew nothing. She deceived everyone. I looked at the forum posts and smiled. Do you all think that only the kind of beating shown in the videos of Chen Ruru and Su Yu counters bullying? And that putting dead mice in desks, ostracizing, verbal humiliation, those are just fun, just children's games. Back in the dorm, I'd just returned from the library when Su Yu rushed over and clung to me, crying. I didn't. Who's stabbing me in the back? She sobbed breathlessly. I gently patted her back, comforting her. What's wrong, Yu? Someone set me up. I really don't know what happened. She was still lying. I held up my phone. The screen showing the video of her bullying. Is this it? She looked up at me stiffly. I don't believe Yu is that kind of person. I stroked her head. I knew Chong Zhao was the best. She forced an ugly smile. Chong Zhao, there's really a misunderstanding. I was set up. It's an awkward angle. I nodded gently. That's right. It was Chi Cheng. Only she was there. That little bitch, why would she double quotes, realization dawned. She's jealous of me. So she did it deliberately. We were both sidekicks, but after Chen Ruru fell, I was the only one basking in glory. She's jealous and set me up. Yes, that's it. Chongzhao, Chi Cheng set me up ... Oh, that reminds me ... I said. Chi Cheng found my missing bag in your closet and told the teacher you stole it. Is that related? What? Su Yu's eyes widened in shock. What bag? The Chanel one around 50,000, I said. It went missing in the dorm. Chi Cheng said you stole it and hid it in your closet. It wasn't me. I don't know anything about it. Su Yu looked devastated. Chi Cheng has gone too far. Why would she do this to me? True. I looked thoughtful. You believe me, don't you, Chongzhao? I didn't take it. Su Yu grabbed my hand urgently. I looked intently at her frantic, desperate expression. I believe you, Yu, I said softly. Just like I believe you and Ruru both enjoy bullying others. She stumbled backward. You see, say enough lies and they become truth. CHONGZHAO ... Chongzhao. Chongzhao, what did you tell the teacher? What did you say? Did you say I stole it? I didn't. I just said, oh, this is the bag I lost. Su Yu looked utterly pathetic. Chongzhao, why couldn't you cover for me? You could have just said the bag was mine, and it would have been solved. We're best friends. Why couldn't you tell a little lie for me? Chi Cheng set me up. I laughed. When you did the same to Chen Ruru, you never imagined Chi Cheng would use the same tactics on you, did you? Why would she ... Su Yu looked confused. Maybe because she believed the same promise I made to you, that she could become my good friend. Study abroad with me, and join the Su Corporation after graduation. My smile was ambiguous. You and I being so close threatened her, didn't it? Chongzhao. You see, your so-called unbreakable sisterhood crumbles at the slightest hint of self-interest. I looked down at her from above. Are you ready to face the rumors? They've discovered you're a bully, a liar. Now they'll believe you're a thief too. Su Yu, are you scared? When they made you kneel, made you eat garbage, made you admit you were a dirty, non-bathing trash picker, made you watch helplessly as your grandmother was tormented and passed away, little Su Shi. Were you scared? I didn't. Chongzhao, help me explain. I can't stay at school like this ... Why are you scared? You didn't steal my bag. It's a misunderstanding. Can't you just explain it to the teacher? Can't you call the police? I looked at her enigmatically. Su Yu, what other secrets are hidden in your closet? Did you actually steal something? Evidence of you and Chen Ruru bullying others, stealing their things. Did you force them to give you money? You're scared, aren't you? Afraid to make it bigger? The teacher won't listen to you. The teacher's dealing with her own rumors right now. She can't afford to help you. I said. She wouldn't dare shelter a student under the current spotlight. But I can help explain for you. I knew Chongzhao was the best. She approached eagerly, full of hope, reaching for my hand. I sidestepped, avoiding her. 2 conditions. 1. Transfer schools and leave. 2. Publicly apologize to Su Shi. ... Who? She was stunned, not understanding why I'd make such a request. Why should I? Because I'm going to collect every debt you owe her for bullying her, one by one. I looked down at her from above. Don't touch her. It's all for her. That trash dash picker ... double quotes. She suddenly laughed. Su Chongzhao, Miss Su, you're truly something. Playing the saint so convincingly. Such an undercover game. I was blind. I'll apologize to her. You remember this. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. I'll be waiting. And so what? An vengeful spirit crawled out of hell. In this life, I only want to protect them. Next up. Chi Cheng. I stared at the fish soup before me, fragrant steam rising from the milky white broth. Xiao Jiao, drink up, drink up. You're so skinny, need to put some meat on those bones. Grandma fussed endlessly beside me. Su Shi couldn't help but laugh. She'd never seen me so flustered. Helpless, I raised the bowl and downed it in one go. This was the 3rd bowl. Sure, I'd been genuinely moved by Grandma's Crucian tofu soup at first, saying how delicious it was. But she made a huge pot every time and insisted I drink 3 bowls. No matter how nostalgic I felt, this was pushing it. I saw Su Shi laughing uncontrollably and pinched her leg under the table. Ungrateful little thing. Yet seeing Grandma in such high spirits and Su Shi, now plump and fair from my care, filled my heart with a different kind of satisfaction. I should head back soon. I ruffled Su Shi's hair. She looked at me and pouted. Leaving already? You said you'd let me help with your math. Little girl, spoiled by my affection, learning to act cute. Who needs your math help? I'm a genius who's lived 2 lives. Your intelligence plus my memories from this life, and she still thinks she needs to tutor me. I left the supplements and milk, tousled little Su Shi's hair into a bird's nest, and slipped away. At the alley entrance, I got into the car. Uncle Wang smoothly turned around and headed for the next destination. The warm smile vanished from my face. I let down my hair, reapplied my lip gloss, spritzed on some Gabrielle, and sent a message to Dad. I got off at Century Plaza. Today I wore a simple white slip dress, pure, innocent. That tall figure stood by the fountain. When he saw me, his eyes lit up. Brother Asheng. Smiling, I walked up to him, stood on tiptoe, and leaned in close. Tilting my head, I directed his attention to my hair. The hairspray gave off a soft jasmine and orange blossom scent. Do you like my perfume today? He drew close, closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and reached out to pull me into his arms. Be my girlfriend, Zhao Zhao. I like you. Okay, I said. Agreeing to be Chi Cheng's girlfriend came with one condition. He couldn't tell the parents. Dad won't allow it, I explained. If you tell Madame Z, she'd definitely tell Dad. Promise me, okay? I gently tugged his sleeve, looking up at him with complete trust. This stirred his protective instincts, and he readily agreed. Whatever Zhao Zhao says. Then he hesitated. What about Lin Mabai? I'll keep my distance from him. I smiled. Secret relationships are so much more fun. Over the past 6 months, my acting had only improved. And Chi Cheng's feelings for me grew stronger by the day. Who wouldn't love a perfect, even-tempered, gentle, wealthy girlfriend who never got angry, always bought her boyfriend gifts, and painted beautiful pictures of their future? Lin Mabai. Miss Su, when are you closing the net? Me. What's your hurry? Lin Mabai. Afraid you'll actually fall for Chi Cheng. Lin Mabai. A brilliant girl turning into a lovesick fool would be tragic. Me. Wait and see. I put away my phone and watched Chi Cheng approaching with our food. He absolutely radiated the glow of new love, which, honestly, made him look like a fool. Zhao Zhao, your favorite dishes today. He was so attentive, so meticulous. I propped my chin on my hands and just looked at him. My staring made him shy. He asked what I was looking at. I was looking at the boy who'd once pointed at me and sneered. So dirty, whose mother had arrogantly forced my grandmother to her knees. Now here he was, so careful, so thoughtful, loving me with his whole heart. Suddenly I felt ... bored. Had he become a different person? Was it because of my family? Was this love ... How ridiculous. This game had lost its thrill. I'm looking at how handsome you are. My smile was pure, filled with what seemed like genuine affection. I want to tell Dad the truth. We're adults now, he can't control me. Really? He was overjoyed. You'll finally tell Uncle Su about us? Happy, of course. Now you can become the Su Corporation's son-in-law. You must be thrilled. Mom will be so happy ... I smiled and lowered my eyes. Would Madame Z be happy? I doubted it. Compared to her son becoming the boyfriend of the Su family's daughter, becoming in-laws with the Su family, wouldn't she be more ecstatic about becoming Madame Su herself? Then let's go tell them together. My smile was innocent, gentle, harmless. Hand in hand, Chi Cheng and I arrived at the Chi home. When Madame Z saw us like this, her expression grew complicated. Mum, haven't you always talked about wanting Zhao Zhao to join our family? She's my girlfriend now. Chi Cheng was so happy. He introduced me with such pride, completely oblivious to his mother's discomfort. Zhao ... Maybe this is a misunderstanding. Zi Yuling seemed to be trying to salvage something. Mom, what are you saying? Chi Cheng didn't understand. Didn't you always want me to bring Zhao Zhao home? Youthful and sensitive, Chi Cheng grew irritated at not getting the expected reaction from his mother. I truly love Brother Asheng, Auntie Z. I smiled. I'm going to marry him. Zi Yuling was speechless. Chi Cheng, however, pulled me close and vowed solemnly. Zhao Zhao. I'll love only you for my whole life. Young love, so pure, seemingly capable of lasting forever. My phone rang. Hello, Dad. I answered happily. I have good news. Sheng and I. What did you say? The smile vanished from my face. I turned pale, swaying unsteadily. What's wrong, Zhao Zhao? Chi Cheng grabbed me anxiously. Through the phone, Dad's voice continued. Dad is going to marry your Auntie Z. You and A Sheng will be siblings from now on. I looked up at Chi Cheng, my expression frozen, tears sliding down my cheeks. Brother A Sheng. You're going to be my real brother now. Double quotes. Chi Cheng's eyes reddened. He looked up at his mother, whose face still hadn't lost its happy expression, and demanded furiously. Why? Aya Sheng, calm down. Zi Yiling stumbled back, startled by her son's intensity, then recovered her maternal authority. Sheng, Mom is marrying your Uncle Su. You should be happy. I asked you. Chi Cheng was beyond caring what he said. So many people, so many choices. Why did you have to pick Zhao Zhao's father? Oh my Chi Cheng. Didn't you realize your mother always planned to cover all bases and see which bet paid off? She probably never expected both bets to pay off simultaneously. Why did you have to make me lose her? His voice was anguished. His grip on me tightened, but then his phone started buzzing incessantly. Furious, he grabbed it and was further enraged by what he saw. What is this? He thrust the phone at Zi Yiling, displaying photos. Zi Yiling, frightened by his abnormal behavior, cautiously leaned in to look. The photos showed Zi Yiling and the principal in intimate embraces in the principal's office. One after another, they flooded the school group chat like an erupting volcano. It wasn't me. Zi Yiling gasped in shock. She shook her head frantically, then grabbed my hand. Zhao Zhao. Tell your father these photos are photoshopped. It's not me. Double quotes. Mom. Chi Cheng bit out each word. Can't you survive without a man? Zi Yiling seemed unable to believe her ears. Sheng, what did you say? Her beloved son. Speaking to her like this. Looking at her like this. It must hurt, mustn't it? I smiled as I watched. But adolescents are mostly proud and arrogant. His relationship thwarted. His mother marrying his beloved's father. His freshly made vows shattered. His mother's scandal shared across the entire school. How many people would look at him differently now? Chi Cheng's rage erupted like a volcano. He'd always cared about face. Always been a bully. He was no innocent. Vicious words poured out, attacking his own mother. Zi Yiling, pale and trembling, seemed unable to believe her usually obedient, admirable child had become this, especially in front of outsiders. I watched coldly as mother and son tore into each other, then left, bored with the scene. Outside, I got into the waiting Mebak. Dad sat in the back, looking at me with a mixture of real and mock complaint. Baby, your father made quite a sacrifice this time, and fed her such a big fantasy. Relax, Dad. It doesn't count anyway. I comforted him. I'll prepare 2 gifts for your birthday this time. That's settled then. He perked up visibly. So you can come to Australia with Dad for summer vacation. I thought for a moment. Sure. But I want to bring a friend and her family along. The girl you keep mentioning and her grandmother. The little white rabbit. Yeah, I smiled. They're wonderful people. I really like them. I'd like to study abroad with her too. Whatever makes my baby happy. He beamed. The principal's scandal got him fired by the board. That Dean Su did a terrible job too. I heard he leaked exam answers to his niece. That Su Yu girl. And that teacher of yours. Covering for students. Enabling bullying. They all got the boot together. How could my daughter's school be so filthy? I looked out the window, smiling contentedly. Oh, and Dad transfer me and Sushi to a different class. The whole class 1 batch is problematic. The whole school's talking about their involvement in bullying. And they're supposedly the school's elite class. Poor character. The school should revise their personal assessments. Cancel the elite class resource allocation. Put them in regular classes where they can study properly, instead of having so much free time. Those humiliating jokes, disgusting pranks. When Grandma knelt, Dean Su stood by, fueling Zi Yuling's arrogance. When Sushi sought help, her teacher said, "A fly only lands on a cracked egg." In short, what goes around comes around. People who participate in bullying trample others' dignity, destroy others' futures. How could they deserve happiness? But my Suchi would be fine. She'd become healthy and happy. She worked so hard she'd have a wonderful future. That contrast, in the end, would be the best punishment for all of them. Madame Z's scandal was known throughout the school. So when she came looking for Dad again, she was stopped at the gate. "I'm your future Madame Sue." Her hair was disheveled. Expression wild, she looked pathetic and unhinged. "Sorry, Madame Z. Dad doesn't want to see you." I stood behind the guard, holding my milk tea, looking at her blandly. "Aren't you the principal's wife? How'd you become Madame Sue?" "Oh, wait. I covered my mouth with a smile. "Ex-principal's wife." Zhao, that was a misunderstanding. She was frantic. So dirty. I looked her up and down, frowning and shaking my head. Zhao. She couldn't defend herself. Her face flushed crimson. Suddenly inspired, she grabbed the stiff Chi Cheng beside her and pulled him forward. Zhao. This is your boyfriend, Chi Cheng. Your brother, A Sheng. Didn't you two say you'd get married? Chi Cheng's eyes were red, his lips pale. He stammered. Zhao. I smiled. "Are you here to be my brother A Sheng or my brother?" Chi Cheng's veins bulged. Zhao, I love you. You mother and son both have such a strong desire to latch onto wealthy families. I made a shushing gesture. "Do you know Sushi?" "Who?" "Oh. That girl. What does she have to do with anything? I'm not interested in anyone else. I only love you, Zhao. He professed his feelings from the heart. "But Susie is who I used to be. You only love the eldest daughter of the Su family. Dividing people into high and low, looking at them through colored glasses. You never learned what respect means," I said. "But there's always a higher rung on the social ladder. When you persecute others, eventually it comes back to you. Look, as soon as trouble hits, everyone around you disappears. Birds of a feather flock together. Do you think anyone's truly loyal to you?" I spotted a head peeking out from the doorway. "Su Chong Zhao. Hurry up. Lin Mabai says you're avoiding punishment." My little girl, radiant smile, confident and sunny. Her gaze swept over Chi Cheng without fear, just indifference. In this life, she'd never met Zi Yuling, never suffered those nightmares. I'd kept her plump and fair, given her friends, given her family. "Coming." I smiled back. "Go now. Don't dirty my garden. I told you everyone who bullied Sushi will get what they deserve." Without a backward glance, I went inside. Little Rabbit was inside, probably causing all sorts of trouble. Sushi's side story. "My name is Susie. I have excellent grades, but my family is very poor. In this high school, that makes me an outsider. Grandma once told me to protect myself. My intuition told me that in this school full of wealthy students, keeping silent, staying low-key, and not drawing attention would be the best way to stay safe. I had a crush on a boy. He was confident and sunny, unlike me. He had many friends. Everyone liked him. His name was Chi Cheng, and he had a pretty girlfriend named Chen Ruru. But somehow I ended up on Chen Ruru's bad side. Maybe it was because of my grades. I'd won a scholarship, but I couldn't afford to lose that scholarship. It covered my tuition and eased Grandma's burden. From then on, school became a nightmare. Chen Ruru was well known and had many friends. My offense against her made everyone quickly turn against me. Many people put dead mice and cockroaches in my desk. I didn't dare cry. I was terrified of those things, but if I cried, they'd call me a fake, a green tea bitch, and throw my textbooks in the trash, then pour chili oil over them. I needed my books. I needed to study. So I learned not to cry. I tried telling the teacher, but she said, "Why don't you think about whether you're the problem? Why do they bully you and not others? Was it really my fault? Had I done something wrong?" When Chen Ruru pushed me down in the alley, and I saw Chi Cheng sneer and say I was dirty, I was still asking myself that question. "Did I do something wrong?" I asked. "You didn't do anything wrong." The girl who answered was my new desk mate, a transfer student. Her name was Su Chongzhao. She was very beautiful, with fair skin and shiny black hair. Her eyes held emotions I couldn't quite read. I just thought her pupils were very dark, so dark they seemed to pull me in. You're the best kid, but the world is very unfair. It just so happens I'm a pretty capable person, she said. If they bully you, just hide behind me. I'll protect you like an angel. Su Chongzhou shared my surname, but she was a princess. From what other students said, her family was incredibly wealthy and well-connected. No one dared provoke her. Everyone called her the young mistress. She was gentle and friendly to everyone. Many liked her, yet felt she kept a certain distance. Only I thought she could be fierce. She'd chase away those who bullied me, then ruffle my hair and say strange things. You need to eat more. A rabbit this thin isn't fun to pinch. She'd pinch my cheek as she said it. She also forced me to drink milk, claiming her dad bought it for her, and she'd throw it away if I didn't take it. My locker became clean and fragrant, no more dead mice or stinking cockroaches. Instead, warm milk, plump strawberries, and sometimes chocolates with unreadable names. So this is what school could be like, I thought, dazed. She even came home with me to visit Grandma. It was the first time I'd brought a friend home. Grandma was overjoyed. Su Chongzhou didn't mind how cramped our home was at all. I'd visited hers. It was as big as a palace, magnificent. But she still loved coming to my place, bringing Grandma nutritional supplements and chocolates for me. Then she'd shamelessly eat Grandma's cooking, and Grandma would insist she down several bowls of crucian tofu soup every time. Grandma's health was improving day by day. Su Chongzhou even said she'd take us abroad together, let Grandma see the big wide world. Drinking that warm, comforting fish soup, my eyes would redden. Su Chongzhou really was an angel. I grew bolder and started pushing her to study seriously. She was always so lazy, either on her phone or sleeping. Yet she still got excellent grades. She always seemed so busy. Worried she'd wear herself out, I wanted her to focus on her studies. Seriously, who do you think I'm doing all this for? And this is the thanks I get, she'd say fiercely. I wasn't scared at all. Okay. A rabbit who's grown a spine isn't fun at all, she'd grumble, then drag herself up to do practice problems. I just sit beside her and smile. Later, so many things happened in our grade. I only know several teachers disappeared, several students transferred, and Su Chongzhou and I changed classes. Sometimes on the road, former classmates would rush over to apologize. I didn't know what was happening, but Su Chongzhou told me not to worry about it. No one bullied me anymore. Those who had were all gone. It must be because Su Chongzhou was by my side. I needed to become strong too. I wanted to protect her too. So annoying. Lin Mabai has nothing better to do than insist on coming to Australia with us, she'd complain. Let Dad deal with him. You, Grandma, and I will go see kangaroos. You're all talk. You'll end up taking everyone along anyway. I mercilessly exposed her. I really have spoiled you rotten. Haven't I, Sushi? She'd glare. Still, she was a beautiful princess. I like her so much. Super much.